Sometimes it's not the grand gestures we remember, but the tiny gifts. The jelly, the tea, the boots, that whisper I saw you. This is for the ones who thought I'd forget but I never do. This is the story entitled The Gifts You Didn't Think I'd Remember by Jesus Pacampara. If this tale stirred something in you, a memory, a dream, or a truth, our Ko-fi, Amazon, and Patreon links are in the description. Support helps us keep writing for you and the ones you hold dear. To my beauty, you run so fast I can barely keep up, but I'll always try. Your light fills up every empty space. Dear Jess, to my iyong soon, you carry the world so gently, it's easy to forget you get tired too. Please remember to rest my love from your Jess. To my Wiin, you asked for jelly once and I never forgot. I hope this makes you smile when the days get too heavy. Jess. It was a quiet morning in early spring when Jess hipped his bag shut, staring at a mess of post-it notes scattered across the desk like thoughts left unfinished. There were 4 pens lying uncapped, blue, pink, black, and gold, and 3 crumpled attempts at a message that didn't feel right. He finally wrote 3 small notes, folded them and slipped them into envelopes, marked with tiny symbols. A shoe for Buell, a teacup for Young, and a jelly bean for Wiin. He exhaled. The house was too quiet without their voices. No Wiin softly humming while she watered the succulents. No Buell's boots clacking down the hallway. No Young tapping her pen against her notebook, tongue sticking out as she rewrote a single line of lyrics for the 3rd time. They had been busy, busier than ever. New songs, live busking events, social media storms, and comment sections that Jess couldn't begin to keep up with. They barely had time to eat dinner together, much less cuddle on the couch like they used to. But they were working so hard and he was proud. Still he missed them in that deep selfish way that love sometimes whispers from the chest. Before he left for his trip, a business errand mixed with a little personal wandering through back alley shops and dusty markets, he promised each of them something. Get me those leather platform shoes we saw in that Japanese magazine, Buell had said over the phone, half teasing, half serious. Young, brushing her hair by the window while watching their cat chase a dust moth, said, "Any local delicacy really, but something warm, comforting like me." And Wiin, clutching her plushie to her chest as she yawned between demo takes, murmured, "Jelly, I want jelly. The clear kind. Peach if they have it. It's silly but I want that." Jess had nodded to each of them and waved it off with a confident "I got it." But that moment, there had been 3 weeks ago. In their rare calls and scattered chats, none of them brought up their request again. Maybe they forgot. Maybe they didn't want to burden him. Maybe they thought he'd forgotten. He didn't. The marketplace near the coast was a colorful blur of scarves, spices, and hand-woven sandals. He had to squint under the sun and dig 2 crates of tourist nonsense, but Jess never did anything half-heartedly when it came to the people he loved. The boots came first, chunky, black, defiant, Buell to a T. The shopkeeper raised an eyebrow when he asked for the extra insoles. "For my girl," Jess said. "She wears stars on her feet, but I don't want her to hurt." Then the tea. Young would want something with story, so he found a local blend made by a grandmother who sang lullabies to her leaves while they dried. "It helps with exhaustion," she said, "and broken hearts." And then the jelly. It took 2 days, 3 language barrier breakdowns, and a minor detour into an underground snack bazaar. But he found it. Glass jars with pale, translucent jelly that shimmered like moonlight. Peach. When he returned home one evening, To an apartment dimmed by fairy lights and echoing silence. The girls hadn't made it back yet. He left the gifts in their favorite places. Boots wrapped in starlight tissue paper on Buell's desk. Tea in Young's reading nook beside a half-read book. And jelly jar beside Wee-in's sketchpad where she doodled cats wearing berets. And the notes, short, simple, sincere. You are the thunder in a city of quiet. I miss your noise, Jess. Even when you're not looking, I see you. Rest, my love, I'm always proud, Jess. I didn't forget, I never do, Jess. The next morning, Jess was still asleep on the couch when the front door creaked open. Buell's voice was the first gruff but warm. He actually got the boots, damn. Then Wee-in, wait, he even remembered the pitch. And finally Young, is this the lullaby tea? Oh Jess. Jess opened his eyes to the sound of their footsteps. He sat up, hair mussed, vision blurry. Welcome home, he croaked. They descended like stars in orbit, hugging him all at once. Chaotic, crushing, comforting. You're such a nerd, Buell whispered, muzzling his cheek. I thought you forgot. I knew you'd remember, Wee-in added, half laughing, half sniffling. I said it once, and you wrote it in your brain forever. Young didn't speak immediately. She just held his face and kissed his forehead. I really needed this, she murmured. They sat together for a long time, the kind of silence that feels like music when hearts are full. Later that evening, curled up on the carpet with mugs of tea, boots on display like art, and jelly opened on tiny spoons, they talked. You know, Jess said softly, life's a bit like your request. The girls looked up. Buell, it's like the shoes you walk. Far, get blisters, but you keep stepping forward. You wear what makes you feel powerful. Buell smiled, chewing on the rim of her teacup. And stubborn, you forgot that part. Young, it's like tea. It takes time, you wait for the flavor, for the warmth. It teaches you how to slow down. Young nodded. I always said you were more poetic than yourself when you're tired. And Wee-in just continued. Jelly soft, playful, you don't need it, but when someone remembers the next exact kind of love, you feel seen. Wee-in wiped her eyes again. That's why I cried. Buell held out her tea, Young her boots, Wee-in her spoon. To Jess, Young said, who never forgets. To us, Jess corrected, who always come back to each other. The days after their reunion blurred into a warm, sleepy haze. Jess had thought the girls would be exhausted, but they were fire, laughing, planning, chattering over every little thing as they caught up on all they'd missed with him. He thought of nothing of their hushed whispers over tea or the suspiciously sudden shopping trips. He was too busy cooking, listening to demos, and marveling at how their smiles could still catch him off guard. Then one lazy Sunday afternoon it happened. Jess was folding laundry in the living room, humming without realizing. When the front door opened with a dramatic slam, Buell appeared first, arms behind her back, smirking like a cat with a secret. Wee-in peeked from behind, eyes shining with mischief, lips pressed together to hide her grin. Young came last, calm but unmistakably glowing, carrying a small paper bag. Sit, Young said softly, her voice gentle but commanding. Jess raised an eyebrow, setting the laundry down. What's going on? Buell threw herself on the couch beside him. You thought you were the only one good at surprises? Wee-in plopped onto the carpet, waving a hand dramatically. For Jess always remembers jelly. Jess opened his mouth to protest, but Young shushed him, sitting on his side. No talking, just open. Inside the paper bag was a soft box, wrapped neatly in blue paper. Jess peeled it back carefully, fingers trembling a little. It was a simple bracelet, leather with a small charm, Three charms actually. A tiny star, a teacup, and a jelly bean. Just as throat tightened. We saw it at the artisan market, Young murmured. Buell picked the leather, and I picked the charms, Ween added quickly, bouncing a little on her knees. Young smiled, brushing Jess's hair from her forehead. You hold so much for us. We wanted you to have something that holds us back. For once, Jess didn't have the words. He pulled them all in his arms, tangled, laughter muffled in the crook of his neck. Buell squeezed his shoulder. You're ours, you know. I know, Jess whispered. Always. This piece is dedicated to my dearest sunshine, Kim Young-soon. Please show her your love and support on her channel, Solarcido. She's the heart behind so much of the light I share here. If you enjoy poems, short stories, and heartfelt journeys like this one, stay a while and see if any of my work resonates with you. I'd love for you to consider subscribing if you find a piece of your heart here. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what new story formats or poems you'd love to see. Your voice helps shape this growing storybook we're building here. Thank you for walking this world with me. Have a nice day.